Okay, Mr. Britton, ready when you are. Assembly number 3.
Even when the darkest clouds are in the sky, you mustn't sigh and you mustn't cry. Spread a little happiness as you go by. Please try. What's the use of worrying and feeling blue when days are long? Keep on smiling through. Spread a little happiness till dreams come true. Sure you'll be wise to make the best of every blues day. Don't you realize you find next Monday or next Tuesday your golden Tuesday? Even when the darkest clouds are in the sky, you mustn't sigh and you mustn't cry. Spread a little happiness as you go by.
Ready to join in?
I got a creed for every need, so easy that it must succeed. I'll set it down for you to read, so please take heed. Keep out the gloom, light in the sun. That's my advice to everyone. It's only once we pass this way, so day by day. Even when the darkest clouds are in the sky, you mustn't sigh and you mustn't cry. Spread a little happiness as you go by. Please try. What's the use of worrying and feeling blue when days are long? Keep on smiling through. Spread a little happiness till dreams come true. Sure you'll be wise to make the best of every blues day. Don't you realize
Yes, Mike, coming up strong now.
Monday or next Tuesday, your golden Tuesday. Even when the darkest clouds are in the
Come on, yes, 6, strong on the back. That's more like it, good.
Spread a little happiness as you go by.
Bit of music, you can whistle if you want. Whistler over there. Is that year 4? Yeah, also.
Should you be wise to make the best of every blues day? Don't you realize you'll find next Monday or next Tuesday your golden Tuesday? Even when the darkest clouds are in the sky, you mustn't sigh and you mustn't cry. Spread a little happiness as you go by.
Hey, well done everybody, well done, that's brilliant. That was actually Sting. Your parents all heard of him. He used to be in a band called The Police. And that's from a very old musical called Mr. Cinders. And we learned that song during our health week in October, you remember, when we were talking about happiness. So let's how these things sort of come into play at the right time. Well, it's great. Oh, of course, Buenas tardes, taught us. Thank you very much, thank you. So here we are, keeping in touch. This is the 3rd of those special Friday assemblies while we're in lockdown. And it's still school holidays, so I'm still casual. I'll be back in my suit next week. Orchestra, don't get carried away. We're not playing just yet. But just as a reminder, we are going to do Lord of the Dance again today. So if you haven't got yourself set up, you could press pause. But a number of you did join in last week. So it's great to see. A little bit more of that later on. Now then, class awards. Now, as you know, we always hand out our certificates to say thank you for everybody who's kept the key rules. And of course, nearly every day, everybody does keep the key rules. And as I said to you many times before, we're all human and we make mistakes. And as long as we learn from those mistakes, that's how we grow and we develop. So, to every single one of you, we have to do this because this is a thank you, because you make the school what it is. Whether you made a mistake or not, you all do your level best to make sure everyone feels happy and safe. So the virtual handshake, your parents will think we've got absolutely ridiculous. Now, are you ready, everybody? Looking in your eyes, I want to see you all. That's it, everybody there. Year 6, at the back, don't forget you, foundation stage. Okay, moving right across. You're not looking at me. That's better. There we are, year 2, 3, year 4, year 4. Oh, Mr. Britton's shaking. Well done, Mr. Britton, thank you. He always keeps the key rules. Year 5, the line of year 6 is here. And moving across to year 1. Well done. Then sometimes the most amazing thing happens, and we get a class which keeps the key rules for the whole half term. And therefore we award the class a bronze award. So for the very first half of the spring term, a bronze award goes to Miss Spencer's class. Well done. Also, a bronze award goes to Miss Wright's class. It was a good start to 2020. Also, a bronze award to everybody in Mr. Wood's class. Congratulations. And everybody in Mr. Warson's class. Congratulations. The teachers will be dancing up and down for joy now, I'll tell you. And also, Mr. Rousel's class. So that's actually everybody in year 5, the entire year group, kept the key rules for a half term. The second half term, we also have bronze awards for Mr. Trousdale's class. Well done. And Miss Charlton's class. So that's everybody in year 1. Fantastic. Also, second half, we had everybody in Miss Power's class. That'll really make her day, I know. And then we all know the older we get, the harder it is to keep the rules. But everybody managed to do it in the second half of the term in Mr. Britton's class.
Yay! Well done! Woo!
Fantastic. See how excited he was? There you go. And also, everybody in Mr. Williams' class as well. So fantastic.
Well done, Mr. Williams' class.
So there we go. So everybody in year 6 managed it. That's some achievement. Then of course some classes go beyond that and they actually keep the key rules for the whole term. And they get a silver award. So well done, Miss Spencer's class. She'll be absolutely thrilled. In fact, she's working at the moment in the foundation stage with some of our children. So we'll give that to her from a distance, of course. Miss Wright's class also got a silver. And everybody in year 5. This is amazing. Mr. Morton's and Mr. Rousel's class. What a year group you are turning out to be. Fantastic. Well done. Absolutely thrilled about that. Congratulations. Now then, we've had a few things sent in. I mentioned about the orchestra. Here's Amy and Lily and Ella, who was set up for Lord of the Dance last week, all playing the flutes together. And in fact, as you all get a golden medal, in fact, I think Ella will be the first older mole to have been given a golden mole certificate once she's actually left the school. So that proves once a mole, always a mole. Well done. And also a little thank you there. Thank you, Mr. Lancaster and your team. That was really nice, that. Now then, we also have a bit of a film here from the Walker family actually playing. This works. There we go. And the tenor voice there, by the way, was Charlie's dad, and he was also on the tambourine, so we didn't know his musical talent there as well. So golden medal's going out there. Now I know you're all still washing your hands. This is Oshin.
Happy birthday to you. 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 Happy birthday, dear Mr. Lancaster. Happy birthday to you.
and doing good wins here, look, setting the example. Now, it was also pointed out it might be a good idea to actually present having this to somebody else. And so, I have on these, oh, he's still rinsing, look. I do have here, these are the people who actually celebrate a birthday this week, okay? From the 13th to the 19th of April. Now, if I've been through the list, if I've missed you, I'm sorry. It wasn't deliberate, but I don't think I have. So the foundation year, we've got Grace and Freya, Thomas in year 3, Ben and Annabelle in year 4, Olivia in year 5, and Rose, Charlotte, Poppy and Sophie in year 6. And we know you can't have birthday parties, and I know that's sad, but hopefully that's brightened up your week, and I'm sure you will have had a party at home, because you're all being very, very clever in the way in which you're finding to celebrate things and to keep things going. Now that comes to our Easter project, which remember was to set up a restaurant or a cafe or a shop and to teach your parents a little bit of French or Spanish. Now this is quite a long film, I'm not going to show all of it, but it is very clever, and you have to congratulate, this is Ben who sent this, and you must congratulate Mum and Dad who really have got into the spirit of this. And again, mums and dads, you'll appreciate the music at the beginning.
Ma boutique est mêlée en affaires par coronavirus.
Got the menus ready. And then I got dressed up for the occasion.
Waiter. Je suis un hamburger.
Steve, please. Is what your croissant with man? Oui, oui.
Well, congratulations, that was brilliant. And I have to say, I hope you noticed there was a bar in the garden. I was very impressed by that, I must say. Now, this is Gemma and Olivia, and their fruit and vegetable shop.
Hola. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. ¿Qué quieres? Un limón. ¿Algo más? 2 zanahorias. ¿Algo más? Una cebolla. ¿Algo más? Una patata. ¿Algo más? Una lechuga. ¿Algo más? No, gracias. ¿Cuánto vale? 10 euros. Gracias. Adiós. Adiós.
Superb. I thought the accents were brilliant, weren't they? Fantastic. Anyway, all of those get a golden mole, and there's more to come. So it really is gold mole time.
Always believe in your soul. You've got the power to know you're indestructible. Always believe it. You are gold.
Okay, and now here's a little film. This is Lucy, who's been practicing her cricket skills. Watch this. Great bowling coming. Oh, spot on. Let's go to the gallery. So we've got something lost in this place. Evie and Callum with the sign of hope. Fantastic. Daniel and Tilly, who've been teaching Grandma her geography through some very complicated jigsaws. Freya, working really hard on her maths book at home. And this is Gabby, who had a fantastic stop-go animation on the Maya civilization. Ruby has also been learned to ride her bike and successfully without stabilizers. Lily has created our own French snap game. Well done. This tennis took us rather impressed. Fred, practicing his sentence writing on the pavement. Well done, Fred. Sam, meanwhile, has been creative in making crafts from household items. Well done, Sam. Charlie did a super retelling of the Super Over from the replay of the Cricket World Cup. Meanwhile, Neve was playing the flute to residents during the Thursday appreciation clap for the National Health Service. Well done, nice idea. Lydia enjoyed the Easter Assembly last week and so she made her own Easter garden. Well done, Lydia. And Elliot has been doing the housework. He's learned how to sweep, how to mop the floor, and the washing up as well. Now then, we have to bring down the volume. So we've now got another film coming up. This is Sam. Now, every week we've had somebody from Hairspray. Now, Sam is playing Brad. And he was given a task to come up with a choreography for a song from Hairspray. Here it is. Miss Fuller's Watch Out. Well done, Sam. And also there's one other one which I was thrown slightly earlier, and that's from Nell in the foundation stage, because evidently during last week's assembly she sat cross-legged throughout. She stood up on cue to sing the songs and sat down in an orderly manner, and when we instructed the foundation stage to leave the hall, she stood up and walked out of the living room. She clearly believed she was here, and now that's lovely, because that's what we're trying to do. We want to feel as though you are with us. And when I get those messages, it's really special. So thank you very much indeed. Now then, let me see what's coming up next. I think it might be up to the hymn. I'm right. Let's have a look. Oh no. One last bit of Easter homework. Now then, just listen to the pronunciation here. This is Adriana.
Buenas tardes, ¿qué tienen en el menú?
Adriana va a buscar el menú. Vale, los entrantes son verduras a la parrilla, ensalada, la plato principal, pollo con champiñones, pescado con patatas, marisco a la plancha, huevos fritos con carne y pan. Y postres son fruta, pastel de frambuesa, helado de turrón.
¿Y para beber?
Agua y zumo.
Vale, pues quiero agua para beber.
Vale.
Y luego quiero ensalada de entrante, pollo con champiñones de plato principal y de postre quiero helado de turrón.
Vale, de acuerdo. Voy a traerlo.
We've got the whole family involved.
Trae el
Mum's in the kitchen. A little brother or sister is also there, I think, as well. The message was that she wasn't fluent in her Spanish, and the family accepted the challenge to have the restaurant to practice her writing, reading, and pronunciation. Well done, Dad, as well. Congratulations. Okay, Orchestra, are you ready? Now, I know we did this last week, but we thought we would do a second week, because you did so well last week. But Mrs. Walker's going to send over the music for one more step, so you can prepare that for our assembly next week. But I heard lots of you were singing really loudly as well, so chantez tout le monde. Levez-vous s'il vous plaît.
I danced in the morning when the moon was begun, and I danced in the
Sorry, Joe. That's lovely, cellos. Percussion. Let's give us a strong lead. That was even better than last week. Well done, everybody. Thank you. Asseyez-vous, s'il vous plaît. Now, do you remember last October? It seems a long, long way away now, but we had our History Day, and Mr. Elsel planned a fantastic day of all sorts of activities with all your teachers, and you all came dressed up as evacuees. And of course, the time we were thinking about was the Second World War. War had been declared, and immediately people were very concerned that cities across the country were going to be bombed, which of course they were, and to protect children, they were to be sent to the countryside for their safety. But of course, that was without their parents. How brave they were. For us on that day, it all seemed a bit of a fun, really, you know, dressing up and finding out about what happened in those times. But of course, it really was serious. And it must have been very shocking for those children to have just been put on a train and sent away from their homes. And when you think about that, although we are going through some terrible times now, we don't have to think about doing that kind of thing. But it also reminds us that there are difficult times in life, and we even have to ask children to do special things to help us all to get through them. Here's some memories of that time and that day.
We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that
Now, no prizes for knowing the name of that song. Of course, it was We'll Meet Again. But do you know the singer? I probably guess that you do. Vera Lynn, that's right. She was known as the Forces' sweetheart. And she made that song so famous in the Second World War. And it was a song of hope. And the words just say it all, don't they? But it's amazing looking at the photographs. And I hope you noticed a couple of our photographs I turned to black and white at the end. And it just shows that we're all the same. Your children, just like the children were then. The parents, what they must have been feeling as well as they were kissing their children goodbye and putting them onto trains. But they did it for their children's safety. Thankfully, we don't have to do anything like that. But times come which are difficult, and we all have to do our bit. Now, the Queen reminded me of this on her speech 2 weeks ago. And she was referring to the speech she made in 1940 to the children who were being evacuated. Of course, she was then Princess Elizabeth. But one thing we didn't see actually on that speech was the actual speech itself. But I've found a little bit for us. So watch this.
It reminds me of the very first broadcast I made in 1940, helped by my sister. We as children spoke from here at Windsor to children who had been evacuated from their homes and sent away for their own safety.
Her Royal Highness, Princess Elizabeth.
In wishing you all good evening, I feel that I am speaking to friends and companions who have shared with my sister and myself many a happy children's hour. Thousands of you in this country have had to leave your homes and be separated from your fathers and mothers. My sister Margaret Rose and I feel so much for you, as we know from experience what it means to be away from those we love most of all. To you living in new surroundings, we send a message of true sympathy. And at the same time, we would like to thank the kind people who have welcomed you to their homes in the country.
We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again.
Entertaining the troops. And of course, that song has just become #1 in the charts as it's been re-released and it is being released to raise money for National Health Service charities. And possibly, maybe it would be a good idea maybe if we learnt it. That'd be one extra thing you could do for me, and then we'll sing it as that song re-envisaged as a song of hope for us all. Now, if you'd like to make the prayer run, perhaps put your hands together, or close your eyes, or share the Amen. On the weekend before our moles should be returning to school, we pray for each and every one of them. We hope that every pupil knows that he or she has a role to play, to try their very best to keep doing their schoolwork, to support their mums and dads and brothers and sisters as they live in different circumstances, and to be positive, to be open-minded, to be creative and inventive as we all learn to live in isolation. I pray that our children take inspiration from the many children who 80 years ago faced evacuation and therefore separation from their parents. May you all know that through difficult times, this shows that we do come through together, and that together we learn even more about ourselves, our resilience, our ability to grow stronger. And may we keep the light forever in our sights, the light which signifies we shall meet again. Amen. Right, who's going straight? Remember, back to school on Monday. Full program of work.
When the race is nearly done, and I feel
We'll all stay for a little bit, I think. Now, you don't have to go just yet.
about it. My heart will start to race, my body finds the motion, and I'm feeling power from within. I've got the power in me, you've got the power in you. I've got the power,
Shall we stand up so we And that is the end of the assembly. But if you want to see the actual song, which has been now named number 1, it's here. See you next week, everybody. Have a good week. Bye-bye.